Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
What happens with it today. Hope it moves. Yeah, it will definitely move, but we'll see. Okay, guys, so let me just hit the record and let's get started. Let's have fun.
Recording in progress.
Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Happy Friday. Good Friday. Juma Mubarak. Welcome, everyone. It is NFP Friday, the first NFP of 2025. Unfortunately, it won't be on our session because we're starting off with London right here, but it will be at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And so please, guys, if we can all trade careful today, trade with proper risk management. Don't do anything silly today. Don't be blowing up any accounts. Don't be doing all those things, those bad habits we did in 2024. This is a new year. We're turning over a new page, new chapter, and you guys are all going to trade with proper risk management going forward, okay? So thank you for joining this morning. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. Welcome to SST. And plan for our session this morning is what we'll do is we'll go over the news really quickly, and then we'll watch how London market opens up in 15 minutes. There's going to be some volume moving because markets were a little slower yesterday due to the funeral of former President Jimmy Carter in the US, and you guys probably saw that markets were a little slower than normal yesterday, and markets will resume and pick up today, okay? And we also have big red folders at 8:30, okay? And we're going to look at gold today, XAUUSD, and also we had a request from our sniper last London we did, Patrick, and requested that we take a look at this security right here, the UK 100, which is very, very similar to the Russell in the US, but this is, and it's also FTSE 100, which is FTSE, and FTSE stands for Financial Times Stock Exchange, okay? So we can do a little bit about that once we finish gold today, okay? Oh, FTSE typically makes a good move at market open. Okay, then maybe we'll get started with this one real quick. FTSE, yeah, that's what the nickname is of this security. A lot of indices have their own nicknames, and this is the FTSE. Okay, so I hit record. Let's have some fun, guys. Chat amongst yourselves on Zoom and YouTube, and if you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer them. If my audio goes and I sound like Elvin from the Chickmunks, just let me know in the chat and I will correct that, okay? And so let's get started real quick with Forex Factory. Let's just go over the news. Are we going to have any volatility during our London session? Is there any big red folders that we need to look forward to? So there was already some news that came out at midnight. Bank of Japan. We had some news prior to London market, pre-market London at 1:45 a.m. with Swiss news. Unemployment is going down in Switzerland. That's good news over here. French consumer spending right now at 245. So as I'm speaking, they just released these folders. French industrial production. 4 a.m. we have Italian retail sales. And then we start to move into, so we're not going to have too much volatility here in London. We'll just have maybe an influx of volume from yesterday's lower volume day. And then here are 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so if you are going to be trading later today NFP. We do have some Canadian news, our Canadian unemployment change and an unemployment rate, but the market is not too concerned about what's going on in Canada. It's more concerned about these three red folders right here. You have your US average hourly earnings. The forecast is a little lower from the previous month, month over month. Average hourly earnings, their forecast is going down 0.3% from 0.4, so a decrease of 0.1. Not too impactful. It will start to get more impacted by these folders down here. Then we have our non-farm employment change. Previous month of December, 227,000. They're forecasting a much lower forecast over here at 164,000. So we'll see what the actual number is that comes out here. And when you're looking at this, it's a change in number of employed people during the previous month, excluding the farming industry. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency for the US dollar. It's released monthly, usually on the first Friday of the month. And why do traders care? Because obviously job creation is an important leading indicator of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activity in the markets. Okay, so that's one of the folders that will be impacted. And then the other big one here is the unemployment rate. So you can see that like over here in Switzerland, they released their unemployment rate. We'll see if we get a green number like this in the US below the forecast. So we have our unemployment rate. You can see unemployment is a little higher in the US at 4.2%. That was the previous. They're forecasting no change in the unemployment at 4.2%, but we'll see the actual number. If you see 4.3, it'll be red. That means unemployment is going higher. That's not good. If we have 4.1 or less, you'll see a green number here, and then that's good that unemployment is going down. Okay, and then that'll also maybe be a positive for the US dollar, and kind of correlated with gold. If you're trading gold, if we see strength in the US dollar, we might see gold sell off a little bit, but that's not always 100% correlated. Just follow your price action and trade accordingly. Okay, so that's our news. Earnings real quick. We got some pre-market earnings. We have some cannabis corporation right here, Tilray. This company actually, it has the headquarters maybe about 10 minutes away from my house. So I'm very familiar with this company over here. We got Delta Airlines, Constellation Brands. They are the producer of Corona beer and cerveza over here, Constellation Brands. They made a massive contribution into the cannabis sector. Back in 2015, they put in $4.2 billion into canopy growth and really accelerated that move leading into legalization. They were a big contributor in it. And that's what we have for pre-market earnings. And then Friday, you guys know the drill after hours, very light earnings on the Friday. Then we go into the weekends. Latest news, if you guys do need anything, Yahoo Finance, you can come over here for some news. Thank you for all those that attended our first ever introduction to the stock market webinar we did on Wednesday. It was awesome, so thank you guys that joined it. If you haven't, please watch it. And it was very, very educational, to say the least, to get started. You can learn a lot by clicking on a certain security and learning a lot about its financials. Over here in Discord, guys, I don't have too much time to break down, but what I'm going to do is we're going to do some specific sessions just breaking down the SST trade ideas and signals, and you guys can ask questions. And this is on crude oil, where we're looking for buys above this demand zone, above $73.50. And anytime we get closing volume and confirmations, we look for a buy above. Again, see how it bottomed out below here, grab liquidity, making higher lows, very, very similar to a double bottom pattern with a higher low, developing the depth of market. We have closure, a pullback, retest, and there it goes for quite a few pips. Okay, and you can leave trades going, try to leave runners if you can and let runners accumulate for you. And this is our website, guys. Join us, stocksnipertrading.com. We have a free blog available for you guys over here. All types of blogs on all types of information around the markets. If you want to join the team, you're welcome to join the team as well and trade with our amazing snipers. Okay, and YouTube, there is a free Telegram channel right over here. I've pinned at the top of the YouTube channel for you guys. It's free. Please join it. You get our YouTube links. You get our daily trading schedules. You see what is going on in our private Zoom sessions in New York. And over here you're trading with Big Dave, and Dave has been killing gold lately. Tell Dave please to leave some pips for the rest of us with gold, because he's accumulating all of them and not leaving anything for us. Tell Dave to leave us some crumbs so we can eat too, and we would definitely appreciate that. Okay, guys, and happy new year to everybody. Let's have a fantastic year. Let's get started now. We'll get started with FTSE. We'll save gold for a thorough analysis just briefly right after London market open. So this is FTSE, guys. This is in UK, they have their own stock index, their own stock exchange. This is the UK 100. It's consisted of 100 corporations, large corporations in London, England. HSBC is one of them. Okay, so it's going to consist of large corporations in the UK, and it is abbreviated UK 100. You can search FTSE, you can search and see that there's different brokers, platforms. I'm using this one that's provided. All of these numbers and candlesticks are provided by FX. Okay, and Financial Times Stock Exchange. That's what FTSE stands for, and it's also got a nickname of FTSE. Okay, so I'm on the daily. I'm going to start off with an analysis. Normally I'd go into more of a thorough analysis with you guys, but you can see it kind of peaked up here mid-May of 2024 on the daily. So we can see that that's where it kind of got pushed down right up there. Are we inside this zone? Not yet. You can see it's right below 8,500. If you go on a monthly or a weekly, is that the all-time high that it got up to? Let's take a look. Yes, it is. So if I go all the way back in history, like a look here, 1997 highs, 2000, the financial crisis, it was under 7,000. Then it started to make a new higher high in 2018, and then pulled right back down to grab that liquidity, and then made its way for a new all-time high breakout over here, February of 2024. And you can see now, like on the monthly, it's been consolidating for the last year. Look, we got green, red, green. It came down red, closed green. Should have broke out right there, September of 24. It didn't. They brought it right back down. Red, green, red. And look at, we're starting the new year very bullish, coming back up. So look at that consolidation. You can see if you box all that in, you have a yearly consolidated range. So it's either going to break out for a new all-time high above 8,500, or it's going to continue maybe to retrace back down and pull back. So right now we've got a strong open in the new year. Let's go to the daily candlesticks, break it down. Okay, so these are our individual daily candles. You can see it can kind of get real messy as well, but then it's got its moves where it sells, goes back up. You got to really be careful with this one, okay? Because look at when you got some daily consolidation, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. They dropped it down, picked up the liquidity. We're coming right back up. So it is building on the daily, where we're making higher lows, but look at where we're coming up to. So just over here, like a point of interest, if I draw a yellow line right here, why did I draw it right here? Well, I'm looking, that's where the volume was, over here, back in December of 2024, now like a month ago. You can see it kind of impulsively broke out. That's the all-time high supply, got rejected, and then they pushed it down. We're getting very, very close to testing this yellow line up here. Is it going to test it Will it be one of these impulse wicks and then gets pushed down very soon? Will it be a closure of green volume? I don't see any green volume closing above this yellow line. Will it close? Will it retest this? Then we might have momentum to get up to that all-time high supply. Or are we going to pull back down into here? Okay, so when I'm looking at now daily levels, I can see over here there's a little bit of support that was created just right over there. In a few of those daily candles, you can see this big body green candle November 22. The pullbacks came into just above 50% of it. Bounced out of there, bounced out of there. We continue to push. So if I extend this zone across, I can see when it came back down, that big bearish engulfing candle, go back down, come back up. And then finally, that's where you see the closing near the low, the retest of the zone, and then that drop. So if I continue with this, going across, you can see how I was acting as supply over here. Impulse break, close right at the box. Impulse break, close right below the box. Impulse break, again, close below the box. And then we get green volume right here, Wednesday. January 8th this week, closing above. Look at the retest, green box zone, stretch it into the future. Okay, we might, if we do come back down red, we might be retesting the green box and bounce back up. If we go red below and close below, similar like this candle, flip this zone red, and then you might get selling pressure to continue to push down into here. Okay, so you can see now we might be consolidating right in here. This looks to me like a left shoulder on the daily. Okay, I know we're running right into London right now, like in a few seconds. So if you guys are trading, just be careful. This looks like a left shoulder. They broke it down, picked up liquidity, came rounded back up. Okay, so that's like an inverted head, and then we're right back into this consolidated range, which could be development of a daily head and shoulder. Left shoulder, inverted head. If we continue to consolidate here, we might get that continuation to break out, maybe close green, retest here, and then try for that all-time high supply and maybe break out further. Okay, that could be a potential path, or it could just come back down and retest this. If you get red volume closing down here, it might push back down for a double bottom. You got one bottom here, that inverted head, but if we fail up here at the right shoulder, it might come back down and try for a double bottom somewhere around in here. Okay, so that's the way how I kind of look at the securities when I'm trading. What is the potential pattern? What could be happening? Now if I kind of break down yesterday and today's daily candle, okay, remember yesterday US was a little bit slower, but London is moving. It opened, it pulled back, retested, it was red, held here, came back up. Nice full body of volume. It made a high yesterday at 8,340 and then came back down and closed. So roughly, if I'm eyeballing 50% of yesterday's volume, half of it is right around there, right? And then look at today's pullback. It opened, okay? Now let's analyze today's daily candle. So it opened right here. So my opening price is always my point of interest. So I place a yellow line. That's the closing price yesterday, opening price. And then it was initially bullish where it made the high of the day, but it's lower than yesterday's volume. So it's a lower high. So at the high of the wick, I place a purple line just to identify that that's the high of the day and to let me know if lower time frame volume, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute is approaching that purple line at the top there, then I know we're attempting to break the high of the day. It came up there, it got rejected, made a lower high, and then they pushed the down all the way down where this body of this candle was red, and there's our low of the day, that yellow line, which was roughly about 50% of the previous day's green candle. So I make it purple now, representing the low of the day, just below 8,300, and you can see how it held above 50% of yesterday's green candle, and the buyers were present. They're pushing it right back up to where we currently are. Right now, the London market is opening up. So will it push all this red volume back up to where it opened and fill that wick to the high, and then we can potentially push up to yesterday's high and target and see if we can break out further up there. So yesterday's high, I use the yellow line as a point of interest, and then we get to this point of interest, those bodies there, and then you know what's above us. All-time high supply is up here, but then we still have wicks here and wicks over here. So we do have a lot of resistance above us, but if it keeps accumulating, how it is on the daily, making higher lows, we might be able to flip this and continue break. Okay, so real quickly, that's the daily of FTSE. Let's break the daily candle down now into the hourly 60-minute time frame and figure out when this thing started to move. So I can see a big bullish candle right here. Yesterday, look at the time, 3 a.m. This was London market open. So it had a big hourly candle when London market opened up yesterday. Figure out where's about 50% of that hourly candle. Right around here is about half of it. And you can see the next 4 a.m. pullback right into it, above, pushed up. Came up barcoding green, red, green, holding, continued to push 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. over here. Then it kind of peaked up here at 11 a.m. and then fell back down all the way back. Look at what it retested back down where the hourly volume is. And we push right back up slowly and coming back down. And here right now, this hourly candle is representing the London market open. You can see that it doesn't have as much volume as yesterday's volume. So right now it just opened, it came back up, it's getting rejected here, it got rejected there and rejected here. Are we going to push back down? Is it kind of consolidating? Hourly, where's there some hourly structure? There's some hourly structure right here in the market, creating some hourly support. I use a white line. You can see that pullback where it made down to the low of the day, came back up. Look at where it closed, right there. Next candle opened right there. So two body of candles are a point of interest, and I can see when it came back down red, look at what it just retested at 2 a.m. Eastern pre-London, the white line, and came back up. So we're just kind of consolidating in between here on the hourly with just lower volume. So what could happen today is, on the hourly, is it came up. There's one top, came back down, okay, to the low of the day. It's coming back up, but it didn't kind of create a double top. It's got a lower high right shoulder, M, and it's coming back down. This is the neckline. If you see today that FTSE gets red volume closing below this white line, what might happen is you might get a push, close below there, a retest of this, then it might have selling volume to take out the low of the day and maybe drop down a little further down into here. Okay, that's where you would look for a sell. If we start to maybe take out this liquidity and then it comes back in green, maybe closes above here, then it might have potential to take out this daily point of interest and that high of the day and maybe get positive volume retesting this. Then we might get that higher high breakout up there. Okay, we might also just get some sideways inside here, like red, green, red, leading into NFP. Even FTSE will move with NFP as well, okay? Because the whole world watches what the US dollar does. So this might follow as well. So now what I can do is we can trade the hourly with this. If you want to even break it down further, you can go down to the 30-minute, 15-minute. Traditionally what we do is we go down to the 5-minute, and that's what we normally trade with you guys live. You can see that big massive drop. When was it? Time in sales 2000 military time. This is 8 p.m. Eastern, and you guys know something happens at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's the futures market when it opens up, and it's the Tokyo session. So you can see the massive selling volume right when the futures market opened up right at 8 p.m. And since then, we've slowly retraced all the way back up to the high of the day right up here. This was at 1 a.m. Eastern about 2 hours ago, and then it sold right back down to that hourly support, and now we're just holding right here. There was London market open. So if you see London market open right now, it was a spin top on indecision. It opened up, it was came down, made a higher low, it was red, came back up very green right up to there, but didn't close up there, got rejected and came back down and closed virtually right where it opened with a tiny bit of green volume. And now this 5-minute candle, sellers are pushing it down. Okay, if I was gonna scalp this thing, I would be looking at the 5 minutes. and just looking at the structure that the 5-minute candles are making. So I can see right over here, there's a little bit of support being created right here where it closed above there, pulled back, held, made a higher high, pulled back. You can see how it's holding this red line, consolidating, and then it made its way back up there. We just came all the way right back down to retest that red line. There was a little bit of a break to the downside, but you see how it's holding the hourly white support line, and it kind of created a double bottom in the 5 minutes. There's one move down, there's the neckline, one move up, the second move down, there's the double bottom. We're coming up with green volume, and then you can now see that kind of London was a fake out to the high up there, and we're getting that volume. So if we can kind of close above there and maybe retest this, the neckline, then maybe we'll have potential to start to push for that high of the day up there. Okay, so what we can do is, if we want to kind of scalp this thing, is figure out how it's trading on the 5 minutes. Where do I see other resistance on the 5 minutes? Right here. You can clearly see it. When it made its way right up there, got rejected, came back down. So you see how it's kind of resistance, support. Come back up to resistance, come back down, making higher low, not touching the red line, so therefore it's coming a little higher, closing volume above the red line, and then we got that push right up there. So if I'm kind of looking for a scalp, I kind of look for like moves like this. I look to buy like right there, and then I kind of place my stop loss below this structure, and then I look to see what will happen right there. So then if it ran up to the high of the day, if I cut those pips, if I was in that trade, that kind of would have been scalp one. And then right now we're kind of moving up again. If maybe when it retraced back down, if you felt comfortable, buying off of maybe hourly support, maybe you could have set up a buy on the second bottom right there, kind of off of the hourly support. Maybe place your stop loss below previous 5-minute structure when it broke the hourly support and kind of got gobbled up right there. Maybe place your stop loss below structure, and you would be in a little tiny bit of profit right now, and to see if it will continue to fill these wicks and continue to push up. We're not in a current trade right now, but I'm just trying to show you guys kind of examples of how you can patiently wait and allow the trade to come to you naturally, and then you just kind of analyze what's going on. Is it the second bottom you're buying? Is it the first bounce? Are you bouncing off of a higher time frames of support? Are we coming to the low of the day? Like things like that. And then this is how you kind of justify what is going on with the top-down analysis, and you can watch the lower time frame volume. Okay, so this is a good security to trade during London session because specifically it has to do with London market hours and volume. So Patrick, thank you. This security was for you. I haven't traded FTSE, I'll be honest with you. It's been years and years and years since I've traded this. But I remember when I was trading it back in the day, it's got a really relatively good spread on trading this thing. Generally, it's less than a pip or a point. I believe I was getting very like half a pip to 0.8 when I was trading this a while back. But again, just allow the volume to come to you naturally. Don't force trades. If you see it's kind of trading sideways like this, you don't need to necessarily stress yourself out trading this type of price action. Just wait for a possible move. You guys know that I always tell you volume has 3 directions. It'll either just continue to consolidate like this, okay? And then the next move is it could potentially close below this zone and maybe retest it and then drop down. Okay. And then the only other third option is it breaks out above here and maybe retest this and it will move to the upside, which it just did like right over here. Okay. If I continue to extend that consolidated box across into the future, I can see that the volume has tried 3 times to break out of there impulsively, but hasn't really closed with any green volume above there. So if it comes back down, it might just continue to consolidate in this zone until we get more volume coming in the market. Okay, so this is FTSE, and some London sessions it could trade a trend. You might be following the trend. It could be a choppy London session, just like with any other security we're looking at. But we will incorporate this a little more in our London trading. Okay, so normally we do DAX when we do London. That's our index of choice. That's the German exchange. We will also add the FTSE as well in there. So I appreciate this, guys. If you guys think of any other securities that move during the specific sessions that we trade, I would love that. When we do some Tokyo sessions, maybe what we can do is we can do the Nikkei, we can do the Japanese index, we can look at JPY pairs like the yen, specifically that trade during the Tokyo session. So that's what you should be doing as a trader. Trade specific securities for the specific session and time. You know, you'll get better volume when you're trading that way. Okay, so we do have a candle with green volume pushing like at these wicks to see if we can close with green volume above here. We have 1 minute and 17 seconds left. So let's just continue to follow this volume, see if we get good positive volume. Maybe we might get a continuation to the upside, or it might pull back. And if we get a confirmed volume close, maybe we can look to buy a pullback. But let's just see first if we get green volume closing above here, because we've had 3 a.m. the London market open was an impulse break to the high and got rejected. We came back up there, again it got rejected and came back down. Now again we got some green volume trying for a third time to make its way up there. Again it came up there and got rejected. We'll see where the final volume will close in the next 35 seconds. Okay. Good question, John. How do I manage Forex charts that have slightly different data from other broker charts from another? I follow the candlesticks, the price action. I don't place limit orders in Forex, so I'm not really focused here on 8,320 where it is right now. I follow the volume. So if I'm trading with, for example, Fusion Broker, it might be off by 10 points. It might be trading at 8,330, but it's got the same exact candlestick formation. So that I on my platform that I'm trading with, I see a bullish candle. I still see that wick. I see a red ignited candle open and dropping. So I just look to place buy and sells according to the price action. I don't really look at the specific numbers. And then when I'm in a trade, I get my measuring tool and I measure the move. So for example, if I kind of bought this right now and then I'm coming up to the yellow line, I know how many points it is exactly. If I come up to the high of the day, I know exactly how many points it is, and that's how I justify these things. Yes, WCFX, we will check gold. We will one security at a time. I don't want to rush anything, but I just want you guys to just watch FTSE for a moment. We have all day to check out gold. So you see how it closed with green volume. Okay, this is also an educational session as well, guys. Okay, I want you guys to learn here as well. I don't want to just make this just trading, buy and sells. Okay, we've got a lifetime to do that, but I want to educate here, guys, so you guys know what you're doing, so that if Ron's not here for London sessions, some days you guys are here and you're trading, you guys know what you're looking for. This is the first body of volume that closed above this range. Okay, so what do I always tell you when volume closes above? Then there could be a possible pullback, which it did. It opened red, and came down. And see how it kind of held 50% of that volume. And now, kind of if you bought that wick or if you bought the break of the body, you are directly right in profit with minimal to zero drawdown. Okay, I'm not looking at how many pips it is. I'm just looking at the volume. Because if you learn how to do this with any security, you're learning the principles of price action. Okay, and we're pushing right up to where we came to that daily point of interest, that yellow line. Now we see what type of reaction we get at this yellow line. Will it in fact close with green volume above the yellow line? Will we get an extension on this play, maybe a pullback and a retest of the yellow line, and then continue to try for that high of the day? Will it get rejected up here? But you can see how we have a really nice positive candle following the first candle that closed above. Okay. Vien, what about crude? Like, yes, we can just, if you guys want to make this just into a call where we're just doing market analysis, security analysis, I can definitely do that, okay? But again, we're just going to get into a 2-hour time frame where we're just going through securities and doing analysis. We can definitely do that. If you guys want to, I'm okay to do that. But I don't, but when I'm trading personally, I don't trade like this. I pick a specific security and I stay with the volume and I continue to watch it. Very rarely am I going from FTSE to gold to crude oil, back to NASDAQ, back to Nvidia and all of that. I don't trade like that. You cannot stay focused. We can make money off of this. We can make money off of any security. You guys got to understand this. Get this in your mindset so you understand this. Because I know that a lot of mistakes that you guys are making is because you're not focused. You're just flip-flopping from security to security to security, different time frames. You're missing out on potential clues, and then you're missing out on moves because you're too busy just surfing the markets. So doesn't matter what we're trading. Stay with the security and follow it, okay? So that's our analysis on FTSE today. I don't want to spend the entire call on this. This is just a little preview of what we can do in these calls. Thank you, Patrick, for recommending this. Appreciate it. And let's now move over to gold, guys, okay? So the main focus on today, NFP, is gold. So let's do a nice analysis on gold, okay? Okay. So you guys tell me a little bit about gold. Do you guys think today gold is going to break bullish with US employment numbers, or is gold going to sell off today? What do you guys think going into NFP? What do you guys think? So while you guys are thinking, I just switched over the charts now. So you can see I'm on XAUUSD on the 5 minutes. We're going to do a top-down analysis. We're going to start off on the higher time frame so we get a good feel of how things are moving on gold on the higher time frame, so that we can get a good indication of how things are leading going into NFP. And NFP will be in exactly about 5 hours from now, okay? Continue bullish. Alex, you think you see a sell-off first? Yep, might drop then pump. Okay, that's good analysis, a fake out. Gold has been overall bullish. I think NFP will continue the trend. Okay, good analysis. I like all of that, okay? So let's get started on the daily, okay? Higher time frame. Let's get rid of this old analysis and let's start fresh. Okay, so if you're just joining and you haven't been watching gold lately, so gold obviously on the daily is making a rally from down here, 2100. It pulled up to 2400, pulled back, 2300 holding, kind of consolidated in here, closed with volume above, and then we started to break out mid 2024 above 2500, started to break. There's our all-time high, just under 2800, October 31st, Halloween 2024, and then we kind of sold back down. It couldn't hold this level of support, 2600. It broke, came down to about 2550, but had a nice rebound. But you see it kind of made two tops up here, lower highs, right up here at 2700. Got rejected back down below the all-time high, and we came all the way back down, but it's making a higher low, and look at where we're coming right back up to. So will NFP give us that volume to continue to push and fill up to maybe 2700? Or is it going to get pulled back down, coming down into here? 2600 range. Okay, so let's just make some quick analysis. Our all-time high, if you guys want to do this on your own charts, you're more than welcome, or if you just want to follow my chart, we can do this together. Right up there where I cut those two candles, okay, right here, that green body candle, that's what I'm using as reference. I know that's a huge red candle that sold off the next day, but I'm just using that little zone right there. So that's the all-time high supply. So I make it red and I stretch it into the future. The reason for stretching it into the future is because if gold ever comes back up to the all-time high, this red box, I know that it's an all-time high supply box. Will it ever come back up to 2800? We don't know, but it needs to break out of this resistance first in order to come up to the all-time high supply. So that is a pending supply waiting in the market up there. And then you can see when the buyers tried to bring it right back up 2 times, kind of got rejected right around here. So I draw another red zone representing right here, okay? And I use those bodies right there and right there as reference, okay? Stretch this into the future. So what do I see now? I see that there's a lower high supply below the all-time high supply. Okay, so that's telling me that there is sellers that are continuously pushing down the strength of gold, the buyers of gold, every time it's trying to make some moves to test that all-time high. Okay, so do we have anything, now that we analyze the top, do we have any analysis that we can clearly see off the bottom? Okay, number one, where it started this big move out of this resistance, you have a strong daily candle right here at September 12. 50% of that green volume is right around here, and then I can see this big pullback leg. It traded right in, that wick traded right into 50% of that big body candle, and the buyers were present and pushed it right back up. So this is an area of demand right here, that fair value gap, and if you bring it into that candle, you can see it traded directly right into that nice green body candle right there. And don't forget to stretch this into the future, because this zone, roughly approximately 2530 to 2550, is a demand zone. Look at how this heavy red 2 weeks of selling came right in, naturally right into that green box, and it bounced right out. Okay, if it ever does come back down, if it comes down red, back down, it could technically bounce right back out of there. It could maybe perform if it comes red, maybe bounce out a little bit, and then they do like a double bottom in there, and then you get that move. Okay, so these are just typical formations that you could get at these zones. Okay, you could get where it just comes down like this, like a V bottom recovery. This is what we call a V bottom sharp recovery, where it came down, triggered, and then did a V recovery where it made up all of that red candles, came right back up. That's what we might see. If it comes down in there, it might just go right back up. You might see something where sometimes like this, it comes up, then it pulls back and makes a second bottom, and then it goes up. So it comes down, one bottom, comes back up, then it comes down for the second bottom, and then it goes back up. Okay, but don't always think that the green box is always gonna do a bounce out of here. You have to understand that that's what we anticipate, but it's not always going to happen. What happens if this happens? If we're coming back down red, we get down to the green box, but the selling pressure is very heavy and significant that it pushes through the green box, and we close below the green box with a red candle. Then what we do is we keep the zone the same and just change the color. With the red body candle closing below it, now I know that the sellers have a lot of momentum and they closed it below the green box. So if the buyers now below the red box are buying it back up, they're buying now maybe into a supply zone, because this zone might turn into heavy supply. More pending sells will come in there as the depth of market changes with this selling pressure. And that's where we look to sell off of. And maybe take the sell, place our stop loss above here, and then you get gold selling off. Okay, so guys, this is just general education for you. Make sure you guys learn this. Some of you guys, like the snipers in our Discord, are doing exceptional. Let me just show you guys, okay? Just real quick, so that I'm not the only one showing you that I trade like this, that there's some snipers in our group. Oh guys, this was a snowy day over here. This is the type of snow we got. That's -17 and got tons of snow. So that's what we got going on in Canada. Let me show you. Like this. Miguel over here in our group. Look at this analysis right here. Okay, so he identified over here a green demand zone. Green demand area. He stretched it into the future. He's on gold, XAUUSD on the 5 minutes. He stretched it into the future. Okay. He saw this uptrend, and then where it started to sell, this kind of flag coming down lower, lower low, came back up, lower highs in this channel, came back down, and look, it naturally came all the way right back down to the green demand area. And what do we get coming out of there? A bullish engulfing candle, close above, and look at the pullback. He's got his entries perfectly, and then straight into profit with minimal to zero drawdown from 26.65 to about 26.70. That's a 50 pip move. Not bad, perfect for scalping on the 5 minutes. What more can you ask for? Like allowing, once you identify a zone, set up a zone and put an alert, put a signal in there. Later on, if the volume comes to you, it'll naturally come to you, and then you can take a trade off of the zone. Okay, so that was a fantastic charting by Miguel and amazing. Okay, so that tells me he's learning. Okay, so green zone, stretch it into the future. And you can notice I'm on the daily. So if you're a daily swing trader, we're nowhere near this green zone, but maybe it will come down there. What has been happening since then? We've been having a little bit of higher low support off of this previous pullback right there. It closed above, pulled back, held. Higher low off of this green box. Stretched this one into the future. Okay, there was a slight break right there. But then you see the V-bottom recovery, came right back in. Look at the retest of the green zone, go back up, stretch this again into the future. Yeah, there was that minor break right there, but then it got gobbled right back up. And look at the dates, Tuesday, January 7, Wednesday, like right into the new year, holding, stretch this. We got a higher low into the future, okay? So I'm just kind of establishing my daily zones. And now what's going on last few days? We have a really nice, strong 4-day bullish trend here. This candle, Thursday, January 2nd, okay, the start of the new year, new trading, was very strong. Then Friday, January 3rd was red, closed about 50% in the volume. Next, we had a weekend, and Monday, red, 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 came back down there, came back up, closed as a spin top. And since then, Tuesday of this week, we came, tested the high, pulled back, still green volume. We came back down, higher low, push for a new higher high, close with strong green volume. Figure out where's 50% of the body of these candles. You can do it with your eyes, just staring at it. There's about 50%. Look at yesterday's pullback. Red, 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 right into 50% of that volume, and continue to fill the wicks and push for a new higher high. Pullback. Look at the volume. Now, going forward for today, for NFP, let's look at yesterday's volume. Figure out where's 50% of that volume. You can eyeball it, or you can use your Fibonacci tool, do whatever you need to do. And I place a yellow line, okay, yellow to represent daily point of interest. And you can see roughly right above here, it's still holding. So 26.65, still holding. We're at 26.80, almost up there. So 26.65, still holding. Okay, will NFP come all the way red, red, red back down into here and see if we can hold this and go back up? Or will it push below here? Then we're starting to push down here. Let's take a look at how today opened and what's going on with gold. Okay, so now let's focus, zoom in more on the daily candle. We had a high yesterday all the way up there, got sold back down. We closed right here. WCFX 2665 is also your key level. Perfect. I love it, guys. So you see how my analysis is kind of matching up with you, WCFX, and we're just, I don't even know you, but analysis matches up because we're looking at critical zones, points of interest. So that's perfect. I know that then we're doing a good job, the both of us. Let's continue to see if anyone else has some key levels that we can look at. So remember, I'm always interested in points of interest on any candle where it opens or where it closes and opens, because there's a specific reason why they closed it there and why they opened it there. So yesterday's close, then it was exactly today's open at 2670. There was no gap down, there was no gap up. It was just a traditional close and open. But when it opened, it was red. The day opened red today. It went red, red, red. That's what created our low of the day at 2668. So what I do at the wicks, I place a purple line. Purple represents the low of the day. Okay? And when we came down there, we pushed right back up to where the opening price was, that point of interest, and look at the bullet, how the bulls took over right at the opening price again at that 2670. Then they pushed it up, green volume, green, 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 green. Remember, look at to the previous day, we have a wick to fill. It wasn't like it was a short wick and then we had a pop and we're driving. So the buyers have done an extremely good job today by filling yesterday's wick up to 2678. So that's an $8 move. That's an 80 pip move from the opening price, which is not easy, but they filled it up. And not only when they got up there, they broke it out for a new higher high. So I can tell by the top wick, that's our high of the day of gold. So 2680. And you see how everything, guys, is just leading to nice psychological strike numbers, psychological numbers. Look at the high of the day. 2680. Look at the closing and opening price, 2670. Look at like around 50% of yesterday's volume and that key interest, 2665. Okay, nice whole psychological numbers. We talked a little bit about this on our introduction to stock and options that we did our webinar. Strike prices. Strike prices like to stay at the whole psychological numbers because more transactions happen at those numbers. Okay, so this is just how markets move. Doesn't matter what security, doesn't matter what exchange, doesn't matter what you're trading. Learn what is all about psychological numbers and strike prices, because more volume is concentrated at those areas. Okay, so when it hit the high of the day, we got a little bit of a retracement, and look at where we're trading right back at yesterday's high, like that other point of interest. So what I look at now is 50% of this volume currently in the candle. I can eyeball it or I can draw my Fibonacci tool and use it. If I'm eyeballing it, that's roughly 50% right there of the volume. And look at the price again. Let's look to the right over here. 26.74 and 67 cents. So what is that psychological number we're off by a few pennies? 26.75. If you want, you can kind of bring it right up to 26.75 if you like, right there. Okay, so see how I just brought it up to 26.75 and .00 right there. Okay, so if we come back down and it comes down red, 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 maybe that's where the buyers are going to step in and they're pending and they're waiting right here to continue to push it back up and test the highs. If they fail and they're not here, then the sellers might take momentum and push this green volume back down to where we opened. Okay, this is a good battle area. This will justify if gold is going to continue to be bullish leading into NFP or if it's going to turn bearish. Okay, so that's a point of interest. It's a point of control. This could be which dictates the momentum of today's. Are the bulls going to be in charge or the bulls are going to be in charge? Okay, so this is a critical area, guys. Now what we can do is we can see above us, if we continue to break above the high of the day, see the black chart up here? Now, I don't want to be guessing where we could be going. let's just look at the previous price action to dictate and tell us where we could go. So if we break out above this purple line and it goes green, 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 logically, look at here. You've got a closing candle, you got an opening candle, and you got a high wick right here. So this general area, draw a line right inside here if you like. You can go to the body and body right there. 2694, 2695. You can bring it down a little lower if you like, right down to that high wick right there, 2692. Or you can kind of look to the left of the chart and see if we get other data points. So I got it at that wick, I get a touch right there. I get over here a body and a body exactly right there. I can continue to look to the left of the chart and look at previous price action. Or you can just be anywhere around here. Like you can kind of just guess somewhere around here. If I put it right there, I kind of get just right above that candle close, right in there. I get this, I get that one right in here, right around there. That could be approximately where we continue to drive up to. So you see how now it came right back up. It's testing the purple line right back to the high of the day. Will it push a little further? How high? If I'm kind of scalping, okay, that's a big move. From the purple to that yellow line, 2680 to 93, that's a $13 move. That's 130 pips from that purple line to the yellow line. What about right here? Look at here, there's 3 wicks. Here's a wick, here's a wick, and here's a wick. What if I draw, like if I'm scalping, and I'm not looking for a 130 pip move, but I'm just looking to fill from this purple line to this yellow line. And look at the number, 26.85 and 25 cents. And then I look at historical data, I can see right there it tapped that exact price and pushed down. Right here it came up green, 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 right up to that yellow line and pushed down. Here it was green, 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 right up to that yellow line and pushed down. So you see guys how I scalp levels. So now it's more logical that if the buyers push, we might push to this yellow line and then we'll find some resistance there. It might pull back or it might just break through here. Okay, so I got this zone, I got that zone. I'm preparing myself for the trading day. I don't just do this just when it's NFP. I do this every single day. I trade tape to tape. This is called tape to tape trading. I'm not guessing where it could go. I'm expecting it to go exactly where it went in the past. And then I can see it's resistance there, it's resistance there, it's resistance there. So it could fill right back up to that yellow line and be resistance here and come back down. That's why I pip and I dip, and I don't, if I'm going to leave runners, I'll let them run. But sometimes if I'm going from the purple line right up here and I'm up 50, 60 pips, I'm securing maybe 50, 60, 70, 80% of that position. I'm making money up there, and then I'll leave the rest to run if it wants to continue go. But sometimes it comes right up here and then gets rejected and comes right back down, and then you give away a majority of your profit. So you got to understand how you're trading. What are you doing? Are you scalping the markets? Are you trading on a higher time frame? So remember, this is daily. Okay, so what we can do now is break down the hourly. OC, welcome all the way from Germany. Good morning. Good morning, brother. Welcome. Okay, so this is gold on the hourly. So we had a big push over here early January. Okay, made that resistance right there January 2nd, and then it pushed right back down. We came back again right in that same area, and then it pushed right back down. Here we came up, we actually closed above there, and then they just dropped it Wednesday at noon, that big drop in the market. I think Trump was talking at noon that day. The whole market kind of just dropped and recovered. I believe Trump was talking at 12 p.m. that day. He was addressing the press, and you know, Trump, he says whatever he says and markets move. Okay, but then continued to push up, pulled back, holding, and this is where we're driving right now. Okay, so it is typically, we're trending higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high. Right now, green, red, green. We're consolidating now, leading into NFP. Will they pull it back down? Will it come back up? Or we're going to continue to drive up and then they drop it? Like all of these things. Okay, so what we can do is we can figure out how it's been trading the last few hours. Okay, start off where you got a nice big bullish candle. Look at the time when it started. Okay, it started 7 p.m. There's futures market 8 p.m. And then we had 9 p.m. here, or sorry, midnight over here. And then 1 a.m., 2 a.m. pre-London, gold kind of came all the way down, but came right back in. And then we got an open right here and pushing right back up. So if I'm following this hourly volume, I want to see if it will close above today's daily high, the purple line, and maybe continue to build and fill up to that yellow line. Remember that 26.85? And then there's my next zone, 26.93. And we can continue to go higher and higher and higher. Okay, so now for scalp purposes on the 5 minutes, maybe we can look for a couple scalps in the London session. What I tend to look for is points of interest on the hourly, or 50% of the current volume. Okay, this hourly candle is going to close in 17 minutes. So right now what I can see is over here where we had, and for hourly I use a white line. Okay, this big bullish candle at 1 a.m. came, closed near the high right there. Then it opened, there was a little bit of a push, fake out, and then it came back down red. So right there. Are we going to continue in the next 16 minutes? Is this hourly volume going to close above this white line? Because maybe if we can build off of 26.78, we can continue to move higher. If it closes back below this white line, then we might just be barcoding where it goes up green, red, green, comes back down red, and just barcode. You can scalp those moves. Okay, if I'm scalping in there, it's going to be smaller points, maybe 15, 20, 30 pips, but we take what the market gives us. So right now, buyers are still pushing up this hourly candle. Maybe I don't want to sit and watch this hourly candle for the next 16 minutes. So what I do is I go down to the lower time frames and I follow the 5 minutes. So these are the candles that typically we scalp. I can see pre-London 2 a.m. red, green, red, green, red. Like this would have been frustrating trading. That's pure consolidation. Then it dropped down. It took the liquidity. Look for these type of moves where they take the liquidity, they sweep the lows, they sweep the highs, and maybe you can come right back up. So you can see kind of how it's struggling right here at the high of the day. The purple line, it came up, back down, came up, back down, came up, back down, came up again, go back down, came up again, back down. So if I was to trap the high of the day and that hourly white line, this is what the 5 minute candles are doing right now. They're just consolidating for the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, almost 30 minutes in this flag. So we know that gold is not just going to continue to trade in this box, but it still might trade in there for the next little bit. We know that it could potentially continue trading inside here. Okay, consolidating. I don't want to trade this garbage. I want to kind of wait to see, will it continue to break a new daily high above the purple line? Will it close above there? And maybe new buyers will step in and push it up to our 26.85 target. Okay, and then maybe take a scalp from 26.80 to 85. The math in my head is telling me that that's 50 pips from the purple line to the yellow line. What happens if the sellers push it back down to this yellow daily line, to that 26.75? So what we'll get is maybe a red candle. We don't want just a red candle come down and go back up. We don't want to fake out. We want to see a red candle close with red volume to give us that confirmation. And we're looking for maybe a pullback back up to here. Then sellers step in and sell it back down to 26.75 down there. Okay, so that's what we could be looking for right now as we're scalping the markets. I promise you there's going to be a lot more volume come NFP around 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So right now, this is just how gold is moving. If you want to draw like a trend so you can understand the trend of what's going on, we're coming up on the 5 minutes. I'll make this a green line as bullish. Okay, so you can see the trend is pushing up. We've got, if you look at the previous kind of high over here, you can kind of see that's what we're forming right now. It's kind of in this little wedge formation. Shiben, big fan of you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. From India. Thank you. Are you Gujarati? Gujarati? Gujarati, Punjab, Sikh, or Tamil? I've got a lot of Indian friends here where I am. And they also are my students at my rental properties. I got 8 Gujarati students. They're all engineers at Fanshawe College, and they love trading. They love price action. So I'm teaching them how to trade as well. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Is this good volume to be scalping in here? What do you guys think? You guys tell me. Is this good volume to be scalping? Not really, eh? No, this is not the greatest volume. So what do we have to do in situations like this? Be patient, be disciplined. Don't force trades, right? This is how simple the trading game can be. It's us as traders, we overcomplicate things. We want to do too much when it's not the right time. Okay, it took me years to learn that principle. So guys, let's learn from this. If the volume is not there, don't take any trades. Don't put in your mindset, oh my god, I'm missing a trade, this, that. What are you missing trading all this? All you're going to get is a big headache trading this. Look at what's happening right now. The buyers are buying, and every time they buy, they get pushed down. And also the sellers, every time they come down, they're selling up here, it goes back up. So we know by just visually looking at this, the last 30 minutes, is just buyers are buying, they're accumulating, and sellers are selling, they're accumulating. So maybe it's just like bots that are buying and selling this small zone because they're accumulating more and more and more volume for the next move to come. It's kind of like a football game. You got 2 teams playing, and one of these teams is going to eventually win. It might be the red team that will sell it back down. If they accumulate more delta red volume, then they have the ability to continue to push it down. If the buyers continue to accumulate more and more and they make higher lows, then it might accumulate more to break up to the upside. Okay, so what I do in situations like this is I try to avoid this type of price action at all costs. But, that's not, we can't all do that because we're going to want to go in on impulses. Okay, let's just watch the close of this candle. It's closing in 15 seconds. We have a nice big body red candle. Is it going to physically close below this structure? Okay, so let's watch this. Here's the close. And look at identify the size of the wick. It's a relatively low wick. See how it just opened red. Now we're coming up green. Got rejected. Okay, so we're below the zone now. Did it take out that low of the candle? Okay, so you see how it's kind of consolidating this red-green candle? Now it's coming back up green. What I also do is I look at 50% of that red candle right there. That's about 50%. Are we going to retest 50%? Maybe it might be a lower high, and then they push it back down. But you see how it's green, still green. So we got buyers still buying in here. Okay, so it's coming up green. Now for maybe the official retest of our consolidated box. Remember that neutral box that we placed? Okay, now it's coming up green, 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 right up to 50% of the candle. That's where I typically want to see the sellers reject the buyers right now. Okay, there was an initial wick that pushed down, but the buyers are still accumulating that volume in that candle. Okay, so let's see now. That was basically the first minute of a 5-minute candle. So the buyers are still pushing up. So is this going to be a fake out and come back up and then maybe continue to push bullish? But you see how it's still fighting at 50% right here. Okay. So this is how I analyze any security I'm trading by the minutes, 5 minutes, or even individual 1 minutes. Okay, so you see how it came up, buyers right into 50%, and now they're pushing it down. Okay, so now we're kind of pushing, exhausting all that green volume. If this candle turns like a shooting star coming down to low, then we might potentially push down further, and then that's where I might scalp down looking for a sell. There it is. There's the shooting star. If it breaks below here, I'm going to look to sell this candle. Okay. Okay, I'm going to go into sell right now. I like the shooting star. It retested. I'm going to sell on gold now. Okay. I'm going to place my stop loss above all of those wicks where it got rejected right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. Placing my stop above the high of the day. And I'm looking to see if it can come down to that yellow line. Okay. So I'm in a sell. I sold the shooting star candle. I allowed it to retest 50%. It got rejected. And as soon as it broke the low, I'm in a sell and it's pushing down. But it's fighting bullish volume over here. So we're going to need more lower lows. Okay. It might also pull back up green and come trade back in here. That's why my stop loss is up there. I'm giving it room to also potentially breathe. Okay. This candle is going to close in 2 more minutes. Let's see if we can continue with this red volume pushing down. You can look at also higher time frame as well. 15-minute candle is going to close in 7 minutes. Will we get 15-minute red volume closing near the lows down here? Then maybe we might potentially take out that point of interest down there. Okay, so there's a lot going on right now, but let's just continue watching this thing, how it closes. Okay, so the sellers are pushing it down to the low. Are we going to get a new lower low? We're right now, yeah, see how they're pushing. Okay, so ruler measuring. Okay, so that's about 10 pips with 0 drawdown. Okay, if you like, that's how normally I love scalping. I love scalping for 10 pips with minimal to 0 drawdown, and I pip and dip. Okay, but I'm looking to see if it can come all the way down to that yellow line. That's about 25 pips. Okay, so you're going to have to learn for yourself what style of scalping you like. I'm still holding this position. Okay, so let's see where, now we know where the low is, all the way down there. But when we're selling into here, there's buyers present, right? Because it was making this uptrend, higher lows. So buyers are still present. But did you guys understand how the candle opened green, came right back? This candle closed red, it came back up green to about 50%, then got rejected, and then I took the sell. So that's typically what I look for 10 pip and dip with minimal to 0 drawdown. Unfortunately, I didn't take my 10 pips. I'm looking for more of a move down into the yellow line, but sometimes you're going to have to give away your profit, or it might come back up and put you in drawdown. But you got to allow the candle to officially close to justify what can happen. Okay, so it came back up, but now the sellers are pushing it back down. Here's the close in 7 seconds. Let's see where and how it will close. Okay, there's buyers that are pushing it up. There's the close. Okay, so it kind of closed right where I entered. Now the next candle turned bullish, ignited. Okay, so it might come back up and trade into this resistance. However, if the sellers can keep now applying selling pressure, can push this down, but then we have to fill this prior wick, and it's not a small wick, it's a longer wick. So I can tell that there's a deep depth of market down here, where there's a lot of buyers down in here. Okay, so this could potentially come back up and then trade a little bit in drawdown, but that's why I'm giving it room to breathe, where my stop loss is above this wick, this wick, this wick, this wick, and above the high of the day. So this might take a while to develop. Okay, and we'll see if this area can continue to hold as maybe resistance going forward. Okay, sorry for all of these boxes, but I'm just trying to illustrate to you guys if this can be ongoing supply. But do you guys have any questions about the execution? Okay, that's what I want to teach about too. The reason why I took that sell. Everything that I look for. The red body closed below the structure. The next candle came back up green, right into about 50% and got rejected. And then it was a shooting star candle that pushed down. So that's when I took the sell, and then it dropped 10 pips directly right into profit with 0 drawdown. Okay. Unfortunately, we traded into it deep where the deep buyers are, and then they pulled it right back up. But that doesn't mean you need to give up on the trade. You just got to continue analyzing. And then I'm also looking at the time. It's 3:57 a.m. Eastern, so we're 3 minutes away from an new hourly candle. So at 4 a.m., are we going to continue to maybe get some selling momentum pushed down, or is this momentum going to change at 4 and then we come back up with green volume? So sometimes what I like to do is just before an hourly candle, I take a look at the hourly candles. And right now, it's barcoding, green, red, green. So at 4 a.m., we might get green and then come back up here and could go after the stop loss unless sellers can maybe push it down, and then we go green, red, green, and then at 4 a.m. come back down red to see if it's officially barcoding. But it's going to be a battle now. This is going to be the battle for 4 a.m. This is going to be the battle for the next hourly candle. So let's see what will happen here, guys. Okay, so we're retesting again this red box. We got less than 2 minutes to go for the close of this 5-minute candle, but more importantly for 4 a.m. Okay, so still strong depth of market down in here. And I'm not risking more than these previous highs because it got rejected there, and at the high of the day. So if I do get stopped out, that's my maximum risk on the trade because I don't want a high of the day breakout coming right now at 4 a.m. So if I get stopped out, right there is where I'm getting stopped out of this trade. And then we're right back in that consolidated box, but I don't want a high of the day breakout. That's my maximum risk on that trade. I'm not risking too much. Just feeling out the markets in London. Okay, so it's just a few points away from my stop loss. And then if that's the case, I get stopped out, and then this box turns green, and I readjust my analysis, and maybe at 4 a.m. we're going to get a bullish move, and maybe I can buy the bullish move, okay, and maybe make up for my loss. Okay, so it's retesting the high of the day. That purple line, if you can see it, is right there. We got 30 seconds to go. 30 seconds is very, very critical going into the close. Okay, and if it closes above here, this red box turns green, because if it comes down red, 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 this can turn into support and continue drive up. Okay, so I'm very, very close to getting stopped out of this trade. Unless a miracle can happen in the next 3 seconds where the next candle opens red and just drops. Okay, so unfortunately it didn't. This box goes red to green, just going through the motions. Okay, I'm still in this, hanging on by a thread, but typically it looks like I'm going to get stopped out. Unless, like I said, a miracle comes down at 4. Unless a big red heavy candle comes back down, but then we got this green support zone to contend with that the buyers might be right now accumulating in here. And unless we get a heavy, heavy, heavy red candle come down and continue to close below here, then we'll get that drop. If we get that, I'll probably add a second sell. If this red candle comes all the way down and it goes red, 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 it's engulfing and comes down and closes below here, I might look to add another sell, but I'm potentially going to get stopped out. So got to see how it's going to come down. We're right back in that consolidated zone again. You know, this neutral box that I have right here, we're right back in that zone again. So it's kind of like the battle at the high of the day. Who's going to win this battle? And I promise you guys at NFP, this is not the type of candles you'll be looking at. You're not going to be looking at 5 or 10 pips. You might see 50 pip candles, 100 pip candles, massive candles right away. Okay, so okay, so half the candle is exhausted. We're 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. We have 2 minutes 30 seconds left. So far, there is some sellers that are there. Okay, so I'm still in this trade, hanging on by a thread, but I need big red volume to come back and close below this green box. In order to get that, then maybe that big push coming down here. If that in fact happens, like for example, if it comes back down red, 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 closes below there, maybe retest that, I flip that green box red again and comes back down, if I'm still in the trade, I might take a second sell in order to take out this low, take out there, and then continue to drop down in here. Okay, I don't know if that will happen, but I hope it does. I hope these 4 a.m. sellers come in and push it down at the high of the day. But now we might retest this green zone. Okay, let's see if now we get a wick here, if the buyers step in, which typically this is where they might be. Okay, so I'm happy that we see a little bit of everything live. You know, like you guys understand, I told you before I took the trade why I placed my stop loss up there, and you see how I got saved by just a few points, and then I got my big bearish red candle coming down at 4 a.m. Okay, maybe this was, they trapped a lot of buyers up there and now they're coming down heavy. Okay, so this could be a bearish engulfing candle coming down, but we need to close below here. And like I said, I might be looking for a second sell position if we get that. 45 seconds to go. So you guys understand, like I show you guys what can happen in the market, but it's just strategically placing your stop loss without risking too much, just above previous price action. Do you get saved by like this? No. Sometimes it stops you out, then it drops. The trading gods heard me. Who knows? Maybe they heard me say that the buyers are there right at the green box, which they are there too. See the wick? Okay. So I don't want to get ahead of myself, but let's watch now. Let's just take it candle by candle. Here's the close. Look at where we're closing. We're closing right in that zone. So the next candle could open green and push right back up. No, we got an ignited red bearish candle. Step in. I'm not changing the zone yet because we haven't officially closed back below it. But that's a good candle. We got an ignited red candle dropping. But let's see if it can continue to push down. So if we look at the 15 minutes, okay, our 15-minute candle, we're coming down red. 9 more minutes to go on this. If we can come down heavy at 4 a.m. with this first 15-minute candle, close below here, maybe we'll get that continuation down to the downside. But we got to close red below here. The hourly candle, okay, start of it. We're just watching the initial 6 minutes, how it started. But I like to watch on the 5s. Did we just witness a miracle? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, but in order to continue selling, we have to close with red volume below this green box. Okay, I like the ignited open, how it just opened red and dropped. That's like a clue, but we still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds, which is a long time. Okay. But the market is just consolidating. You see how we're kind of trading this junky volume, like, so that's why don't trade with too much, like don't risk too much when you're trading this type of volume. It's good time to practice price action and learn and things like that, but don't over leverage where you're panicking if you're in a trade. Just trade what you're comfortable with, okay? That way you can learn in a live environment. You can watch price action as opposed to just watching your profit and loss. Another thing too, when you're trading like this, okay, sometimes you're going to go into profit, sometimes you're going to go into drawdown, maybe get stopped out by just a hair, then it comes right back down to kind of where you entered, and then you're back to break even. So you were kind of in profit, then you're in drawdown, and then you're back to break even. That's when you got to ask yourself, what do I want to do with this trade? Like if it comes back down to break even, the market is allowing you an opportunity to close the trade. You don't win any money, you don't lose any money. It's kind of a scratch, and then you can reanalyze. So if that ever happens to you and you're not really feeling the trade any longer, you can close it out at kind of break even with a minimal loss. You didn't win, you didn't lose, but then maybe you can reanalyze the market and look at what's happening, and then maybe you might flip your mindset and go bullish, or maybe just wait for more bearish volume to come in. You don't necessarily always have to just hold your trades either to go to a TP or to a stop loss. You can also step out if you like at a break even. It's good practice to learn. Okay, we're just walking through the candle. We got a minute 37 to go. So we opened ignited red and it dropped down here. It looked promising, but there's good support. There is buyers that are pushing it right back up. So we got a hanging man candle still with that red ignited head, but it looks like it's right now going to flip potentially green, and then if it does, then it will turn into a hammer, because then the volume flips and then hammer candle could continue to come up green. Yeah, right there. See how it turned green into a hammer? So now we're coming back up. But what I look for is that previous red candle, 50% of it. So there's about approximately 50% from where it opened, where it closed, there's about 50%. So yes, it's coming up green, 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 right to that 50% point. Now, are the sellers going to step in and push it back down? Or the green is going to close up, and then you can see how it respected our green box and coming back up. And with this momentum, then I think potentially it looks like I'm going to get stopped out. With this green volume, the next candle might open green and then come for the high of the day. You can see how the buyers are still strong in here. Okay, so we're trading the worst volume in here, this consolidated garbage. But this is what the market is giving us. I'm in a trade, there's nothing I can do. All I can continue to do is just manage and watch what's going on. So where will it close? Look at where the volume might close. Right at the red line, right at 50% or a little higher. Okay, here's the close. So it closed just a notch above 50%. So it might use this red line as support now and continue to push. So this could be my... the sellers are still there. Wow. I thought I was going to get stopped out. Oh, man. So this is London volume. This is why I don't trade London too much. This can be very, very frustrating. That's why I like New York volume. New York volume sometimes is just straightforward. If this type of setup in New York where you got that and then that shooting star, that would have maybe pushed for 20, 30, 50 pips down to the downside. But I don't like to make excuses for any market. But I want you guys to learn price action. Okay? So you guys got to understand why I always look at 50% of candles, why this green zone is still holding. In order to continue selling, we got to get red volume to close below here. We had two opportunities where it came down there, but the sellers couldn't finish the task. They didn't know the assignment that they needed to close below here. It's Freaky Friday, crazy price action, yeah. That's why it's good in a little bit to go back to sleep and then get up and watch NFP. WCFX, do you always let it hit stop loss or man? No, I manage risk. When I'm not, like, when it came down there, I potentially would have maybe closed this trade down in here, took a minimal loss and just reanalyzed. I do that often where I modify my trades. With you guys, I tend to keep the trade to either go to a profit target or stop loss. Just, to entertain you guys. But normally, typically when I'm trading, I manage these trades. Sometimes I manage them live with you guys if I don't like the way how it's going, but I'm going to play this one out. Every time it's coming up, they're pushing it back down. They're pushing it back down. It's just, this is the fight now. When I was saying we got 3 directions, we're still in that 3 directional. We're still in the consolidated box. So either the buyers or sellers could still. So if we continue to get red volume close below there, yeah, we might, as a seller, I might win that trade. But if it goes against me, which it came up there multiple times, if the buyers manage to close it above there, what's up there? My stop loss. Then my stop gets triggered, pulls back, new buyers step into the market, and then you get that bullish move. So that's the directions that we could continue to trade in here. Let me just kind of clean up this chart because it's getting really messy. And another thing, in a minute and 30 seconds, we're getting a new 15-minute candle at 4:15. So again, looking at the 15-minute candles, it was looking promising. It was red, red, red. We were coming down there, but the buyers stepped right in, are pushing this. So if this 15-minute candle flips bullish and turns into a hammer, has a high probability next 15 minutes it's going to take out the high of the day and go higher. Okay, depending how this volume closes. If this red volume comes back down and engulfs that green volume when we close, then it might open red, and then again we're testing this green box. Okay, so I like to always watch it on the 5 minutes. And we got less than 1 minute. I don't think I've stayed in a trade this long before without being stopped out. Like, look at all these wicks up here. Oh man. Is there going to be the Forex gods again that come in and save me in the next 30 seconds and push it down red? We'll see. I don't know. How many lives do cats have? 9 lives? How many lives do I have in this trade? Yeah, Relind, you see an accumulation for a buy, it's about to break out now. Possibly, yeah, I can see that too. Definitely, that's why I'm being cautious with my stop loss. I don't want to get that huge green candle breaking out of here. That's my maximum right there, 2680 and some change. That's where my stop is. Okay, so this new 15-minute candle just initially opened red. Is it going to come down heavy red? Will it just come down a bit, then picks up a higher low wick, then come back up green? Okay, so it's an ignited red open. I always look at those things. I pay attention to those things. I pay attention to detail on every single candle. Okay, so just lost that ignited red open real quickly. So then you can see that the candle is not showing much selling pressure. If it lost its ignited red open in just a few seconds, then that's telling me that it's pretty weak and the buyers could take control of this bar easily. Okay. So then I just watch to see how my stop loss is doing up here. Yeah, market makers are watching and smelling my stop loss. That's okay. I'll donate them a coffee right now with this loss, and I'll come back and I'll eat some pancakes for NFP. That's the way how I do business. I buy them an early coffee for London, and then I'll come and eat breakfast for New York session. I'm donating for the market makers. But man, look at what we got caught in this. But gold still really hasn't made a move. Okay, when we really look at the picture here, it's just right inside here. It hasn't really made a move. Okay, so that's why you can kind of get stressed out with trading this garbage volume. There's no real range. It's not trending, it's just sideways. Okay, so now it's coming up green. Again, this is where it could take out all these wicks. High of the day is right there. There's our purple line. So we're going to have the high of the day, and then that's my SL. That's my stop loss right there. Because why? Because I don't want to prevent a huge, big, green bullish candle breaking through here. Okay? And then I don't want to just be like a trader or just continuing to increase my stop loss and hope and pray for the best. No. Trading, you got to accept a loss. Like, I've given it more time to breathe. Okay, the Forex gods are still in here saving me, but eventually my luck might run out. Okay, so that's the maximum. I've given it more than enough time to try and come down, but I'm not willing to gamble on a trade. Okay, that's it. If I get stopped out, it's the end of that trade. I gotta regroup, analyze, and come back. Okay, I want you guys to learn that too. I want to be open and honest with you guys. That everybody takes losses in trading. But you can prevent how much you lose. I don't know how I'm still in this trade. I'm waiting to get stopped out here. This is where it's possibly going to do it now. I can't believe how I'm still in this. Okay, and then regardless whether I get stopped out or not, we got to watch and see if the volume will close above that purple line to see if we get a closure above the high of the day. And for you guys that are buying, I know some of you guys are buying, will you get that high of the day breakout? That wick stopped you out? I'm a little bit above that wick. I got it just above the high of the day. Okay, did I get saved by that wick? Is the market playing games with us on purpose? Okay, but look at this. 20 seconds to go into the close. It retested that like just briefly below that high of the day and they pushed it down. We still have that green volume that's coming back up. What's my spread on gold? 0.8 right now, WCFX, 0.8. It's fluctuating from 0.5 to 1.0, but roughly 0.8 is the average. Less than a pip. This is typically how London trades, gold trades prior to NFP on London sessions. Okay, so this is the candle that's it. Going to take me out. Okay, it's coming right back up. It's filling that prior wick. Here it tapped into the high of the day. And is it going to stop me out? Let's see. I'm still in this, hanging on by a thread. Okay, right there. Stopped out. That's it. Okay. So I'm stopped out. That trade is over. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Sometimes you get this where you get stopped out and then it comes back down. Don't revenge trade and don't get mad and then slam another sell, because then they could just be playing with your emotions and then you slam another sell and then they bring it right back up. So when I take a stop, I review. I don't do anything silly like revenge trading. Okay, but for you long buyers, if you guys are buying, let's see if we get green volume closing above that high of the day. Yeah, you can trade futures instead of Forex, and then you don't have spreads. Yeah, that's the beauty of trading futures. Let's just quickly just look at FTSE right now. What has FTSE been doing? So FTSE at London, it took out the high of the day, came up to just below that point of interest, and selling right back down to that consolidated zone. So you can see how things retrace right back down to kind of where most of the majority of the volume was trading in here. It broke out right there at midnight, came back down, double bottom down in there. Here was the London market open, 3 a.m. It pushed for a new high of the day, and then it came right back down to back in the consolidated box. So that's why when you're scalping, it's good to, get in, get out, get your profit when you can, because sometimes trades will retrace back down to where they started. Okay, so let's see if we get now closure of green volume above today's high of the day on gold. Are you guys trading with prop firms for your spreads that are high right now? Okay, so let's pay attention to this green candle. 50 seconds to go. Okay, so you got the green volume now. Take out the high of the day, that purple line. Let's see if it closes above. And if it closes near the high, above the high of the day, you might get an ignited green candle continue to run. If it pulls back, if it comes down red, 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 look for either a retest of the purple line or roughly about 50% inside here, the belly of the candle. Okay, so here's the close. Okay, closed. There was a wick. It came down green. So that's why I tell you guys where I get stopped out, because I didn't want this big green move to continue to push from the high of the day. So you understand why I put my stop loss just right above that purple line, because why lose more when you don't need to, right? So this is that accumulation, and this is the high of the day breakout. So congratulations to you guys that are buyers on this, and you can now clearly see how it was building, then finally they released that volume. Okay, so don't always just increase your stop loss when you're in a trade. Keep your stop loss at a defined area and allocate a certain amount of risk towards that trade, and be willing to accept the loss and where it's not going to really affect you. Okay, but look at that. Okay, so maybe are they going to pin it up there? Okay, this could be one of those big FU candles where it came up green, 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 and then they slammed it back down. This might be those FU candles that we talk about, where it came up there, they pinned it at 26.82, and then they're slamming it back down. Sometimes when you get that, then that starts a big selling trend coming. So you got to be very careful. Anytime you get volume at the new high of the days or the low of the days, this is where you can get some volatility. In any security, on any session, on any time. Okay, I'm not just saying now. I'm saying anytime you get like a break of a high of day or low of the day, that's when you're going to get some serious volatility in the market. And you can see with this candle, This is very volatile. It opened green, 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 shot right up there, and then they slammed it right back down. And look at what we're retesting. We're retesting the purple line right here. I think for me, I'm going to stay away from this volume right now, and I'll be back for, I'm going to trade, get up, get the kids ready for school, take a look at what's going on in NFP, maybe trade post NFP, but this London volume is not the greatest right now. It's too sideways. There's no real direction right now. Guys, try not to spam the channel about your coins. Nobody really cares about what token you guys bought, XAUUSD, or you guys are bots. Okay. Don't invest your life savings in fart coin. It's not a great idea. It's not a good investment. Okay. There is an actual fart coin. And there's people investing their life savings in fart coin. It's unbelievable what's going on in today's markets. There was a kid that invested $32,000, young kid, in fart coin, and when it dumped, he lost his life savings. I'd maybe put $5 in a fart coin and hope for the best, but I wouldn't put my entire life savings in it. Okay, so look at this response by the sellers at today's high of the day. We got 45 seconds to go. Okay, so they really pinned it right there at 26.82, and now you got a deep candle coming down. Is it going to be like a shooting star? This could be one of those FU candles. So what I do, okay, what I traditionally do, but I'm going to go back to sleep in 30 minutes. But if I was still trading and making a session out of this, I'm watching this. What I would do, let's do this. Place an alert right here at the white line, originally where kind of below the screen box. So what I do is I right click it, add an alert. Yes, I created it. My clock is right there. So if it eventually comes back down red, it comes back down red, closes below there, I get an alert, then I'm alerted, and then if it's, in fact, that box goes red, then that could be what I was kind of looking for that original sell, but maybe they spike the high of the day, and then it's going to come down with more and more red volume, and then you get that nice sell. Okay, so you can always place an alert in the market and patiently wait for the volume to come to you, but watch how it's coming down to you. Like I can see that they pinned it hard with that shooting star candle. We're kind of right back in the consolidated zone, but if it continues to come down now, yeah, like see how it's coming down? This could come down with heavy red volume, but I wouldn't be surprised if it consolidates still in here and just continues to accumulate. But eventually, if the sellers can sell it below here, then that could be that real big sell. That's what I was originally looking for before I got stopped out. If it was coming down like this red candle that was coming back down, and this one, if it closed below here and started moving down, I would have. I told you guys I was going to take a second sell position, add another one on that next heavy leg coming down. But it could come down later on today. Unfortunately, I'm going to go to sleep in a little bit. But that's typically what I do when I figure out a zone or an area. Anytime I'm trading, specifically New York, I like trading New York. For the most part, I set my alerts. Okay, but came down, and is still holding the green box. We got a higher low wick, higher low, higher low. So buyers are still present. They're pushing it back up. So if, in fact, we get green volume continuing to consolidate up here, closing near the high of the day, we might get continuation to the upside on gold. And then this is what I would be targeting going into maybe NFP to see if it can get up to 26.85, this yellow line up here. But just look at the volume since 3 a.m. Not the greatest. Not making any excuses, but this is not the easiest to be trading. Even if you're a buyer, it's still difficult. If you're a seller, it's difficult. So the best thing to do is just be on the sidelines. If you're trading this, maybe just trade a little smaller position, smaller sizing. Test out this market. Don't over leverage. Don't trade with big lot sizing unless you have experience and you know what you're doing, or just avoid this at all costs. How many hours do I take in for sleep? Oh, I don't sleep, guys. I'm telling you, I sleep maybe 3 to 4 hours a day, and that's it, maximum. I've been doing this for like, I don't know, last 25 years. Maybe like on a Saturday night, like Saturday going into a Sunday is my day to sleep in. I'll get maybe like a good 10 hours of sleep, but generally life of a trader is choppy sleep. But 3-4 hours and a lot of coffee. It's not good, it's not healthy. I don't recommend that for anyone. I recommend you guys get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. But when you got kids and you got to get them ready for school, take them to school, pick them up, do all those things, and you got to trade and you got to do all kinds of things, you sleep when you can. How many hours of sleep do you guys get on average? What's your typical sleeping schedule? That's amazing. WCFX, thank you for your help. You've gone from losing accounts to finally being profitable. You're up 18% this week from pipping and dipping. I agree with you. My style of trading is pipping and dipping. I'm not going to lie, guys. Like this, where I took that sell and it dropped down to 10 pips. Normally, I pip and dip out of there, but I don't want to make excuses now. But I'm a pip and dip trader. I get in and I get out. Obviously, I look for bigger moves. You know, I would have loved if that candle was coming down. Like when it was coming down nicely, red, 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 when we originally took that. Oh man, if it took out that yellow point of interest, would have been a nice drop for 30, 40, 50 pips. But the buyers are holding the market, like you can see. They held right there, came back in bullish, pulled back. Again, it teased me. Came down red, back down there, came back down red down there, but then the buyers were... There was more buyers than there was sellers, unfortunately, at this time. Lefuth, you sleep 8 to 9 hours? That's amazing. That's good sleep. I would love to get 8-9 hours a day. Yeah, no, I agree. 20 to 30 pips is ideal. I know. But sometimes you take what the market's giving you. If you look at the average of each candle, about 10-15 pips. Sometimes when I'm trading with a standard lot or 2 lot, okay, 10 pips adds up. You know, it could be 100 to 200 US dollars. Like I don't pip and dip with small micro sizing. I normally tend to do it with a standard lot or double lot. So when you're talking standard or double lot, that's $10 to $20 per pip. If you get 10, 15 pips, it could be $100 to $200 per trade. And that's typically what I look for. Esther, you're taking 7 hours? That's good. My kids keep me up all day. They're wild. I got crazy wild kids. They like to stay up. Patrick, yeah, FTSE. Maybe Patrick, it was a good idea to stay with FTSE this morning. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, like FTSE has some nice moves. Okay, but then look where we are. We're right just back right in the consolidated area. Okay, so FTSE was moving. It trades like just any other index. You know, it's a nice one to maybe pay attention to during London sessions. We're adding this one to the watch list, 100%. I like this. Let's also look at DAX, because normally what we do in London is DAX right over here. Okay, DAX. Let's take a look how it. A little choppier than FTSE. FTSE looked cleaner. What else do we look at? GBP USD. Okay, so GU, this is pre-London, was bullish. Wow, got real choppy, consolidated. There's London market open 3 a.m. Had a move to the upside, came back down and going back up to the upside. I think the entire markets, guys, are waiting for the morning for 8:30 for NFP. It's the first NFP of the year. It could dictate our interest rates in the US for the next FOMC going forward. So I think the whole markets are waiting to see what's going to happen with today's employment numbers. Oh, Tony, you're like me, brother. You're 3.5 hours daily. If that, you stay up studying and watching charts. I understand. Yeah, that's the grind of trying to learn this, how to do this, guys. It's not easy. I respect everybody that's putting in the time to learn. You're working, you got families, then you got to come home, then you got to study and then trade, and then the last thing on your mind is sleeping, you know. So I have a lot of respect for everyone that's working hard at learning this skill, this craft. It's not easy, guys. You know, it's psychologically it's draining on you. Mentally, it's draining on you. Physically, it's draining on you. Emotionally, trading can be draining. Financially, like all of these things can take a toll on you. That's why it's good to always maybe have a day off. We talked about this early on. Maybe have a midweek day off, like trade Monday, Tuesday, take Wednesday as a complete day off and relax. You know, maybe don't even look at charts on Wednesday. Get a good sleep, midweek sleep, and then come back for Thursday, Friday. Some traders trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They take Fridays and a long weekend to relax, recover, recoup. But don't be doing this like 7 days a week, and you gotta have time off. That's what I didn't learn when I started trading. I was going at this 24 hours a day, every single day, and it was wearing me out. But I had no choice. Like that's what I needed to do at that time when I was learning to trade, because that's all I had. So I put in the time. I don't need to do it as much as I do now, but I enjoy coming here and helping you guys, and you know, you guys keeping me company here as well. Sam, bad price action, 3 stops on NASDAQ. Yeah, stay away. If you're seeing it's bad price action, you've acknowledged it, stay away. There might be better volume later this morning, okay, after the news. You guys got to understand that, okay? When you see that the price action is not cooperating, walk away and come back later, okay? So sometimes it works out for the best. Okay, gold. It's just too choppy right now, guys. Unfortunately, like I'd love to trade this, but it's just like, look at that high of the day fake out, okay, and it came right back down. It's just, phew. I recommend everybody stays away from this. Mohammed, good morning, welcome, brother. Lots of football this weekend. NFL wild card weekend. My upset of the week is the Rams to beat Minnesota Vikings on the Monday night. If anyone wants to take some bets on that, I'm happy. I'll take the Rams. You guys can have the Vikings. I think the Rams are the hottest team coming in the playoffs right now. Sam Darnold looked horrible last few games. Sorry to the Viking fans out there. I know Sonia is a Vikings fan. Do any of you guys watch NFL, American football? Ooh, I'm liking what I'm seeing right here, guys, on MicroStrategy. I'm in a position that I bought Wednesday at the close, and it's up in the pre-market. So Ron might be looking good with MicroStrategy. Let's take a look at this. So this one, look at how it's trading in the pre-market. 341. It's up $10 per share, almost up 3%. Well, I'm going to see if this will hold going in. I'll show you guys my ticket later. If I close this thing out during market open, but this typically runs with Bitcoin, so I probably Bitcoin is moving right now. Let's take a look at BTC. Where's BTC at? Oh yeah, she's moving. Wow, look at the. Okay, there was a massive drop from up here when it hit 102, but slowly it's been recovering. So it's got pretty good move. What was the low of Bitcoin? 91,275, and now we're trading back to 95,000, right back into that resistance. So I think even Bitcoin is waiting to see what's going to happen with NFP. Bitcoin can retrace all the way back up to here, or they pull it back down. But I'm happy to see some green volume. Maybe I'll escape during the pre-market. So my pre-market trading starts at, I can get out of that trade at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. before Wall Street market opens, and maybe that's what I'll do. Or I'll keep a trailing position, but I'll secure some profit. So I don't always just trade Forex and futures. I'm also a big trader in the stock markets. We did our first introduction to stock and options on Wednesday. We did our webinar, and this 2025 we're gonna get more into the stock market, guys. So when I do these London sessions with you for 2 weeks, we do kind of London sessions. We'll do Forex, we'll do some futures, and when we get into the 2 weeks of New York, we're gonna focus this year on stock and equities and options, education and trading. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am to show you guys something different in the markets, and we're going to have lots of fun. It's a whole different world where you can learn a lot of new things. Really how to diversify your trading. So look at what's happening. Okay, so there was that, I think it was like a liquidity grab of the high of the day. That when I was saying like those FU candles, sorry, I don't want to swear here. It is too early to be swearing in the morning. But those FU candles, they take out the liquidity, and it was a nice bearish candle coming down. And look at the sellers have managed to bring it right back down to this green box where those buyers are. If it can flip and it closes below here, we might get more selling pressure to actually push and come down here. So I have an alert at that white line, but it hasn't been triggered yet. Okay, it's still holding the green box. But if you're still kind of bullish on gold, you could maybe look to potentially buy off of this green box and look for that next leg to come back up. Otherwise, just avoid this price action altogether. Do I trade crypto? Yeah, we trade crypto, 100%. I stick with the big names. I don't trade like Fartcoin. I trade Bitcoin. Mainly just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is great for scalping as long as you have good spreads. What's everyone's plans for the weekend? Anyone doing anything exciting? So what we got here. Keeping warm, Patrick? Yeah, it's cold over here. Does anyone live in LA or California? Have you guys seen those wildfires? Wow, that's sad to see. Welcome, LSG. Good morning, Esther. Welcome, Lafuth. Biking and backtesting. Yep, that's fun. Backtesting is fun. I like backtesting. Not a lot of people do backtesting. Backtesting is very important in trading. Mogembo, you bought gold at 2676. Oh, down there. You bought that wick down there. Suggest target. If you bought down here, I'd look for green volume to close again, get it back above that high of the day, and maybe to take out that wick up there. I would be looking, maybe if you're in a buy down here, maybe to target 2682, 83, potentially this yellow line. All depends. You need green closing volume again above this purple line. Otherwise, sellers are just going to step in again and try and push this thing back down. And you can see, guys, we're just right back in this consolidated phase. So I'm trying to keep this call exciting, but this is really, really boring price action. Again, if I woke up for London and I was trading by myself and this was the volume, I would have been right back in bed like an hour ago. Like, this is not worth the time. This is not worth the headaches to be trading this stuff. Just be careful, okay? Learn what is good volume, what is bad volume, what is consolidating volume. It will help you a lot in your trading. It'll help you a lot in being more profitable. Look for trending markets, like nice clean candles. Don't look for barcoding candles. This is what I call barcoding, where you get red, green, where they're typically the same size candles, red, green, okay? And stay away from candles that have a lot of wicks to the upside and to the downside, because then you know that sellers are selling it down, buyers are buying it up. Sellers are selling it down, buyers are buying it up. Look for clean volume to the best of your ability. And what I mean by clean volume is like these type of candles. Like these nice full body candles. So you can see as soon as they kind of broke this type of resistance right here, then it was clean trading. Like here, they got rejected. And then there was a first green one that closed above, like kind of if you flipped the box, red to green, and then you see a nice pullback, and then you kind of buy off of this. Okay, and maybe you bought that, you took your profit out, extend this into the future. It came back down red. There it was red, it closed below, but then nice clue that it didn't get rejected and then pushed back down. It came back up green again, then retested the green box. Could have bought this again. Nice green candles coming up. Again, it came back down, testing the green box, going back up. Like that's good volume to be trading, and then you can trade multiple trades off of that type of volume. When it's really difficult to determine, like this is horrible. This is horrible. What we're trading in now it might be getting a little bit better. See how it's still holding the green box, and now we're coming right back to that high of the day. So now if the buyers can look at, it's like a double bottom now, okay, where it came down, green box. That was that sell I took. There was the green box, came back up, that fake out to the high, okay, the high of the day breakout. But then look at when it came back down. Tested the green box, holding. There's two bottoms, and now we're coming. There's the neckline right there, the purple line, the high of the day. So if it comes back up after this call, and we get green volume closing above here, and it starts retesting this, gold bullish, okay, coming back up, filling this big wick, and then going right to that target of that yellow line. So someone on YouTube said, Mogambo, this for you. Where should be your target? Because you said 26.76 down in here. Yeah, it's going in your direction. I would look if you get green closing volume. Right now, it's performing the neckline close. And then maybe take out that wick right there. Draw a red line at that wick so you know. 26.82. And then there's that daily point of interest of 26.85. That's typically maybe the direction it's going to go into. So you see how it kind of sold right back down, but right down to the green box. So you see where my alert is to sell below that hourly support, below the green box, and on closing red volume and retesting that. So there's no sell unless you get confirmation. Today's trade will affect on gold up or down. Can you hold the trade until news comes? Oh, it's going to get really volatile during NFP. It's going to take out all stop losses. Believe me, it's going to be very volatile. Like, it's not going to be trading candles like this type of volume. Oh no. In the first 1 minute from 8:30, as soon as they release the news, you're going to see a massive either a red, big, huge red candle, or you're going to see a massive green candle within the first 10 seconds. And it's going to be very volatile. Okay, this is the first NFP of the year. So I highly recommend, nobody on this call kind of does high risk trading. Always use a stop loss. If you're in profit going into NFP, make sure you have a trailing stop loss to secure something, because I'm telling you, it's going to be very volatile. If you want, before NFP starts, go back and backtest the first NFP of last year. Go look at the first Friday of the new year last year and see how did gold trade at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and kind of look, backtest. See for yourself. Okay, they're playing too many games in here. Again, it came up green, and then getting rejected back down. So we're right back inside here. So guys, just be careful trading. If you're going to continue trading London, especially gold, this security, just be careful with this. Thanks to Patrick introducing us to FTSE over here. FTSE. Let's see what FTSE is doing. FTSE is playing FTSE over here. Close below. Again, barcoding red, green. Testing. Remember that white line was that hourly support. Okay, so it came down there, back up, came down there. Are we trading currencies? Yeah, we do currencies as well. We're going to do GBP USD, Euro USD for our London sessions. We're going to do a little bit of everything, okay? We'll have fun in London's, but we'll have more fun in New York. I can't wait when we start to do New York sessions, and then we're going to start to look at stock securities. But first, we're going to start off with a lot of education to make you guys aware of what's going on, provide you guys with the education, the webinars, and then slowly, because stock and options is very, very difficult, can be more advanced. It's not just hitting a buy and sell button. You have to do a lot of research, Mogambo, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. You're going to subscribe. Where are you from? Everyone, where's everyone from in the chat? Zoom, YouTube, where's everyone from? We're from cold Canada. If you like snow and cold weather, come join us over here in Canada. FTSE, Patrick, selling off below that hourly support, might drop. Vancouver, oh, you're cold out there too. Sharif, you're London. Clovette, Cameroon. Matthews, Poland. LSG, Philippines, nice. Ahmed, I miss you too, bro. Welcome. Nice, guys. Haiti. Welcome, welcome, Haiti. Republic of Congo, thank you. Poland, UK, India, bro. Ethiopia, nice, nice. Wow. Dennis, minus 17 out. You're going to go out for a jog, Dennis? Malta, 16 degrees sunny. Nice, Mark. Dennis, I'm going to go outside, smoke a joint, go to sleep. UAE, Sam? Visit Dubai. I'm going to come, Sam. I'm coming. Dubai is on the vacation list. Yes, I'll be coming to Dubai. I got a friend in Oman. I'll be coming to Dubai, Sydney, Australia. Nice. Nice, guys. You see how diverse we are? Tanzania, Romania. Nice, guys. Okay, everyone, it's 5 a.m. Ooh, look at gold. Like this is nasty. Like, look at, they're faking out buyers again. It was green, green, green. That's why, guys, don't fall for impulse candles. Try to your best ability to wait for candles close. That's why I waited. Like, when I go back to look at my sell, okay, it closed below. First candle closed below that structure. I waited patiently for it to come up green, 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 right into trade into about 50%. Then when it got rejected, it came back down, and that's when I sold the low right there, and then it just dropped down for those 10 points, but then it reversed back up and got me. But look at how it's trading. Like, it's just too many fake outs, guys. But again, if it's coming down, again, lower high, fake out, ignited bearish candle coming back down. If it kind of closes below here, that's going to trigger me an alarm, and I think that gold might push down further. I don't know. I just got a hunch that it's going to sell. I really want to take another sell, get into this, but I need to go to sleep. Otherwise, I'll be watching this for another hour with you guys, and then all of a sudden NFP is here and we're still sitting at the computer and we haven't slept, and it's an all-nighter. So I cannot do that. I need to at least get 3 hours of sleep. But guys, I appreciate you guys. This week has been awesome. For the lifetimers, Sunday morning, 10 a.m., we're gonna have another lifetime call, coaching, mentoring. I'll be there to answer all of your questions, help you guys out with whatever you guys have. And then everyone else on YouTube and Zoom, we'll see you guys. We'll do one more week of London, and then we're going to move into a couple weeks in New York. Okay, so I appreciate everybody that's here. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are learning every single day, getting better at your risk management. I know a lot of you guys are getting much better. Some of you guys are finally seeing profitability, and I'm super proud of you guys. I want to just say, maybe you don't hear it a lot from other people saying like how proud we are of you guys. It's not easy to make profits in these markets. It's a tough business to do this on a daily basis. But if you guys are starting to see some positivity in your trading, I'm super proud of you guys. And I'm always here. Dave is always here. SST is always here for you guys. We're here for you guys. Whatever you need out of the markets, we're here to help you guys. Just please, guys, trade safe today during NFP. Don't do anything silly. Listen to me from all the mistakes I made in the past. If you want to gamble on NFP, you might do something that you're going to regret this weekend. You might give back all your profits this week. Just now, this is where you do calculations, risk management. Let's say you made 5% this week. I'm just using random numbers, and you're going into NFP. Don't risk that entire 5% and double down and just try for the best. Maybe only risk 1% of that. Keep 4% to help accumulate your account, to keep you in a positive mindset in the weekend and to go forward next week and to build off of that. Don't go risk it all. That's what we normally do. And then you lose it, then you're going to have a shitty weekend, then it's going to translate into negative trading next week, and you're just going to go through that cycle again. Let's get out of that. Let's start somewhere. You got to start to compound your account. Learn as your capital grows, those 0.5%, those 1% per day, they really start to add up. and it will really help you guys. But I appreciate you guys joining me on these mornings. And please guys, if you can, on YouTube, and we'll upload it also on the website, is the webinar we did this week. I'm very super excited about it. It's an introduction to stock market, to talk about what we're going to do going forward this year. If you've never traded the stock market, this is a good time to learn, because that's where we're going to be shifting some focus and doing more and more in the stock markets, guys. And it's a whole different world out there. And it's very exciting. Okay, so you see, again, we came into that green box. My alarm didn't get triggered for the sell, but it's holding the green box and coming right back up green. So this is also positive. If it comes back up and closes back above here, gold could be bullish and follow this path of this arrow. You can see, stretch this green box into the future. Okay, you can see it hasn't broke down yet. So the buyers are still here. They're still here. Okay, guys, I got to get out of here. It's 5. I got to go to sleep. Appreciate you guys. Have a good NFP. God bless. Have a good weekend. Good Friday. Juma Mubarak, everybody. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. God bless. Thank you, guys. I had a fun time this morning. Patrick, thank you for FTSE. We're going to add that in the London watch list. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the live session of Stocks Number Trading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US 30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.